I received this book. Oops, I received this book from the library. They had an all call that went out to teachers about some free books that they got from BAM. And I went down, you know how I love free things, and got this one. James Patterson, Alley Cross, Like Father, Like Son. If I look at the back, it says, I'm always watching, always listening. I'm Detective Alex Cross's son. One day, I walked right into a crime scene. Suddenly, I'm an eyewitness. I know that I'm just a kid, but whoever said a kid can't solve a mystery, especially if the kid's name is Allie Cross. Just read that. At the top, it says, when your dad is Alex Cross, solving crimes runs in the family. See that up there? And you can see the images. And I'm going to read the inside. Alex Cross is a genius detective. Allie Cross is following in his father's footsteps. When Allie sees a friend get hurt, he's the best person to find out who did it, even if he's only a kid. After all, he's Alex Cross's son. Solving crimes runs in the family. So I'm going to go to the first chapter. I'm going to read it. If I can manage to fight with this book. Okay. Allie Cross, where are you? When I saw the text that my great grandmother, Nana Mama, got, I got a bad feeling in my gut. Something told me my perfect day was about to come to a very imperfect end. Yo, I think I might have a problem here, I said, and showed my phone to Cedric. He gave a low, bad news kind of whistle. Uh-oh, he said, tropical storm, Mama, moving in quick. Right? I said, if she finds out where I am, I'm toast. The thing is, I told Nana Mama that I was going to be working on a report for school at Cedric's house that day, but it wasn't true. I mean, I was with Cedric. We just weren't anywhere near his house. We were at the Anacostia Park Music Festival having an awesome time with our friends. Ruby Mateo and Gabe were there, along with Ruby's best friend Zoe. And if I'm being honest, I'd say Zoe was about 90% of the reason I'd gone AWOL in the first place. I mean, I'd had crushes on other girls before, but this was the first time I'd ever thought of one of them might actually like me back. That's what you call a miracle. So you could say there was a lot on the line. We'd still stuffed our faces with cheesesteaks and fried dough, checked out a bunch of different acts, gotten our picture taken in the giant Anacostia Rocks photo frame, and even sat in the steel drum lesson. But none of that was the main event. You can't go now, Zoe said. We're just getting started. I'm working on it, I told her, as we pushed through the crowd toward the main stage. What time's your mom going on? Go on. Zoe looked at her phone, supposedly like an hour ago, but you know how it is. I just nodded, like I knew exactly how it was to be the kid of a famous musician. Washington famous anyway. People kept saying Zoe's mom, Vanessa D.C. Knight, was going to hit the big time any day now. They called her the Queen of Go-Go, which is a homegrown Washington, D.C. kind of music, a little funk, a little R&B, and a little old school hip-hop. It's not my usual jam, but again, I wasn't there for the music. I was there for Zoe. So I doubled down with Nana Mama and tried to buy a little more time. Still working on my report at Cedric's. I texted back. I'll be home for dinner. And don't get it twisted, by the way. I love my great grandma big time, but I'm not allowed to cross the Anacostia River without an adult. Not even to go to the park, which was crazy. I mean, even Ruby and Mateo were allowed to be there, and their family way stricter than mine. It was time for Nana to start figuring out I wasn't a little kid anymore. Let me see if I can find out what's up with my mom's show, Zoe said. Give me 5 minutes. She's got to be back there somewhere. Zoe pointed to the parking lot behind the stage. It was full of trailers, semis, and RVs, which I think were the dressing rooms. But it was also a restricted area, like they had a long line of bike racks set up like a temporary fence to keep people out. Now that it was going to stop Zoe. Not that it was going to stop Zoe. Already she had her hands on the fence like she was ready to sneak over, no problem. Why don't you just go that way? Ruby asked and pointed at the actual backstage entrance where a couple of uniformed dudes were checking IDs. Just tell them your mom's headlining. They'll let you in. Yeah, no, Zoe said. I'm allergic to cops. The cops were really just security guards, but I didn't bother to correct her. I also didn't mention that my dad was a detective with the Metropolitan Police Department. Hopefully that wouldn't mean Zoe was allergic to me too. I got this, she said. Then she started rapping right there on the spot. DC, hanging back, don't know where, but I'm going to find out. Once she hits the stage, gonna rage and blow your mind out. Watch me slip the line right on time. Here you go, yo. Quick as that, there were back there, quick as that, there and back, coming at you like a yo-yo. That was awesome, Mateo said, which is totally was. Zoe had a reputation at school for writing some dope poetry, and she could obviously freestyle too. I guess it was in her blood, considering what her mom did for a living. Kind of like the way I'm always thinking about police procedure and crime scene investigation. What can I say? I'm a cop's kid. Don't leave before I get back, Zoe said, and pointed right at me the way that made my stomach jump. A second later, she slipped that fence like it wasn't even there, cut up between two of those big semi trucks, and disappeared. I just stood there watching the spot where she'd been, thinking about how sweet and thinking about that sweet and salty smile of hers and those gold box braids mixed in with the black ones and the pink kicks she always wore. Just let's say Zoe Knight wasn't the type of girl you could easily miss in a crowd. I think someone likes you, Ruby said as soon as Zoe was gone, and I think that name starts with a Z. You think? Cedric said, and he and Mateo fell on me, knocking me around and giving me a kind of hard time. Not that I minded. Those two are my boys. She's super nice, Gabe said, and really pretty too. Gabe's a little different, but I like how chill he can be, even if he is a typical game slash space cadet slash computer genius. I just hope Zoe gets back soon, I told them, because I knew Nana clock was ticking. And then sure enough, we barely had been waiting 2 minutes before the next text from my great grandmother dinged into my phone. If you're at Cedric's house, why doesn't his mother know where he is? Oh man, Cedric said, reading over my shoulder. That's what you call bad timing. Nana wasn't playing either. A second after that, my phone started ringing with her name on the caller ID. I could practically feel the heat coming off the screen just looking at it. Mateo put his arms out, zombie style, and stumbled a few steps. Nana calls, must obey. He wasn't wrong, but I also knew that I had to leave before but if I had to leave before Zoe got back, I could kiss my chances with her goodbye, which was probably the only thing I'd be kissing anytime soon. You going to answer that? Gabe asked. Yeah, I said. I was just putting it off as long as possible. But then everything changed. I was just about to pick up Nana's call when a loud bang came from somewhere in that backstage parking lot. Uh-oh. Just have a little more to read for chapter 1. It wasn't the kind of soft pop you hear sometimes, more like a hammer coming down on a piece of metal, which meant it was close by, maybe 400 feet if I was guessing. And in any case, I knew exactly what I'd just heard. It was the sound of a single gunshot. And that's chapter 1. So if you're interested in reading this book, I'm going to have it in the room. I'm trying to figure out where. I think I'm going to have it right here on the board. And after you watch this video, if you're interested, and I bet many will be, so you got to be first or second or third or sign up. I'll have a sign up sheet, I think. This free book I got from BAM through the library donation, and it feels good too. I like the the texture on it. I love texture. Anyway, it will be here, and the first to get to it will get it. Happy reading.